Erin, it's so nice to have you today. I am so honored to have you. I'm so blessed with our relationship we've had. I felt like I remember our first time we met together, and I met you at South Congress Hotel because I was meeting
Oh my
somebody
gosh.
else,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
were so kind to like make sure I was like being talked to or
I think
met
you were
with.
just standing there and I was like, hey, what's your name?
Oh my God, you were so nice to me. And then, and I think you were just getting into real estate then, right? Is that kind of around when you like like we've
I
known
think it
each
was
other
like
for
my,
what, a couple of years, but like I think we just meaningfully started working together in the last year or maybe year and a half. But
correct.
how long have you had your license? We've been together.
Well, I'm almost at the 5 year mark with my
Okay, okay,
license.
okay,
And I want to say that when we met, it was like the start of my second year.
okay.
And it was before really anything clicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was and you were on a team, right? You started off on a
I was.
team,
I was on a team.
and then you kind of went off on your own this lot 2 years ago,
Well,
or
believe it or not, no, I am still on a
technically
team.
on a different team.
Yes, I'm on a
Okay,
different team. So
okay,
I've been, oops. So yes, I've been on a couple of teams
yeah,
and I'm currently on the Waller House team at
yeah,
Compass.
okay,
Yeah.
amazing. And you're having an amazing year, right? So, and that's all your hard work for sure. And I know you and I talk all the time, and so I know you're putting in amazing amount of work. And I think for all of us, systems and processes are always a challenge, and that's what we're working on next. But like the work. What would you say like the business has been? The first 2 3 years has been like what, and then like what do you think was like the turning point where you feel like things really started changing?
So a couple of things. I think I got lucky with my timing,
Yeah.
truly, because I think that I was doing lead gen while everyone was still in the weeds with the craziness of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So everyone was like tying up loose ends, doing all their deals in the pandemic. I was kind of getting started at the latter half of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I was just consistently working on open houses and social media. And then, that work takes 1 to 2 years to kind of come to fruition.
Yeah.
And it, just consistency.
Yeah.
Just doing that work nonstop,
Yeah.
eventually it just hit.
Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah.
again, my not having that crazy period
Yeah.
set me up to lead gen in a time when other folks were very busy.
Yeah. It's such a good point, right? And I think I struggle with that with my business too, is like you're always, the reality is you always have to be prospecting and generating, right? And then our tendency is that we get busy and then we get busy with all the work, like servicing the work, and then your lead gen and all that stuff goes away, and then this cycle goes up and down, right? And it's certainly something we struggle with all the time. We've gotten better, obviously, but like it's important to be doing that stuff, and you've been able to kind of like you said, do that, and you do that consistently. You think about that every week, like every day, every week. Do you have that built into your schedule to some part, or is it a little bit more on the fly,
It's a little more
or
on that. So my clients know that I
yeah,
am refining my systems.
yeah, yeah,
That is kind of where I am
yeah,
in my business. For the first 3 years, it was just heads down in the weeds, 7 days a week.
yeah,
And now I'm able to take a little bit of a step back
yeah,
and working with people like yourself
yeah,
to help build systems, to help hire more people.
yeah.
Because, I was just, I'm a scrappy person. I've
Yes.
always been scrappy. Like
Yeah.
I've always tried to MacGyver things and figure things out. But now I'm finally at a point where it's like my base is there. I can really turn this into what I want it to be.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice.
You mentioned scrappy, but we don't get the benefit, or I don't get the benefit sometimes to be like involved. Like like you and I talk, and we're talking about things, and we're working on things together. But like I don't get to see you actually on a call with the client, or negotiating, or any of those kind of things, right? And so sometimes we lose sight of how like good each other are, or like I get the feedback from the last client we worked together. she could not stop talking. Every time I talked to her about it, she could not tell me how great you were, right? And I get glimpses of it, how awesome, like, you're a negotiator, and like your conviction to the data and understanding all that stuff. I don't think people maybe truly appreciate that part of you, right?
I appreciate that. I definitely don't, in social media, I really don't talk much about my background, and I need to start doing that more.
Yeah.
But I have a background in data analytics. I have a background in theater and in journalism.
Yeah.
That's what I studied. I studied journalism in school. I minored in theater. And then there was no money in either of those paths.
Yeah.
So then I became a data analyst.
Yeah.
And it truly feels like real estate is that culmination of those three specialties of mine.
So
and
good.
it's just come together really nicely.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's so cool that you say that, because as you're saying that, I'm thinking about it, and then, it totally translates, and that's why you're so good at the, that piece of the analysis, right? On like where we're pricing houses, and like where we're negotiating stuff, and the data that goes into it, because like the reality is everyone's business runs off data, right? At the end of the day, right? We're running on field too sometimes, but like at the end of the day, it's all back to data and the decisions we're making next, and so forth, et cetera. So that's amazing. What would you say? I mean, look, a lot of people know that you're on social and you do an amazing job there, and we're getting business through social and stuff like that. Like, what would you say, like, you feel like is like the biggest kind of overarching kind of thing? Is it consistency, or is it just like staying true to, maybe it's some of the houses or the types of houses, or is it like you're generating business on social media, right? Mm-hmm. And you enjoy that aspect of it, and having success there. I feel like it's certainly just consistency for sure, and maybe staying. Everything feels the same. I guess.
You know what's interesting? I actually, with social. There is some element of consistency, but I do want to kind of break that down a little bit, because I do think some agents get stuck in like, I have to post. I have to make sure that I post, every other day or each week. If you notice, I'll go 2 weeks at a time without posting, because to me, the number one thing is posting something I authentically care about.
Okay, so that's amazing.
So I just don't want to fill a quota.
Yeah, That's so good. I love that. I'm glad you said that, right? And I think you're right. We get in this trap that I got to do so much and so much and so forth. But like when it's authentic and it's what you care about and you're passionate about something, whether it's this house or that house, it shows, right? And
I have a litmus test. Like when I am deciding whether or not I want to film a house, it's, do I go in and I get goosebumps and I'm like, I need to tell everyone about this. I have that full body feeling. If I don't have that, then I don't film it. I'll still send it to my sphere, but I really, again, I just don't want to fill a quota. I don't want to just do it to do it. And I think the audience feels that. I think the audience can tell if someone's just posting a video in order to like find buyers. For
sure. I'll plug you a little bit more. Like my wife, would periodically ask me, "Oh my God, you should be following this person," and so forth, and like, this person's awesome, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, "Okay, who is it?" And I'm like, "Okay, we're friends." By the way,
that's my friend Erin.
It's so funny. So you're doing the right stuff there. What do you think is what do you see as like, you're exceeding your goals for this year, right? We had a goal in target, and we're going to reach those goals basically. And, what do you feel like, what do you see kind of moving forward here? Like, do you have like a few things that you need to really work on moving forward? And
absolutely. I feel like I see my flaws so clearly.
We all do, by the way. Right? Go ahead.
I'm very open with my clients about where I want to get better.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really hiring some folks. So I'm working to hire a full-time operations manager and potentially a part-time assistant. I had an assistant for a while, and it was amazing. But when she left, it was like, oh my goodness,
I know.
I've built this to a place where I need help.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
And then I also just have a vision for how I want the story to unfold. And I'm very excited and very grateful that I have the opportunity now to refine this thing.
Yeah. And your clients, I mean, like, we all strive to give our clients this like amazing experience, right? And I think it's a combination of being really good at your craft and understanding the data and like, negotiating for our clients, but then all the experience side of things, right? And so like that's where the staff comes in, right? And all the other stuff that you need to do and finding the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous, but any agent worth their salt is dealing with this.
Yeah.
It's how do you manage to make your clients feel seen and heard when you have 25 plus people each day having a conversation with you throughout the day. And then also, how do you have time to take care of yourself and be present for your family?
Yes.
And so that's definitely the hardest part about this business, in my opinion, because I want my clients to know that they're special to me and important to me, but I also have to take care of myself. So I'm figuring that out. Not always perfectly.
I know. God, I spent the first 10 years of my life not doing that well, taking care of clients and taking care of the work and not finding the right balance. And I feel like I've got a better balance now for sure. But it's constantly a challenge in work.
Absolutely. And I feel like there are so many more resources available for like how to generate leads, how to become successful. But then when you become successful, it's like, oh my goodness, this is a whole different landscape. My problems are different problems now. And I'm, every day is a learning experience.
For sure. And that's like, look, your business is growing. And so that's important. And how do you manage time and staff and still be able to deliver to the 25 people that you're having conversations with, so everyone feels like they're one.
Right.
And so we on the mortgage side of things have a little bit more practice at that because we're always dealing with a lot more people generally, right? Like we're generally always dealing with 2 and 3 times the number of people you guys might be dealing. So we're forced to like get better at processes and systems and things like that, right?
But you've been such a model for me in my business. Like it's just so nice seeing how you do it. You've got a wonderful team.
Thank you.
Your setup is fantastic. I always tell my clients, I'm like, I don't know if I can say this, but I'd say that he lives in Tarrytown. He works in Clarksville. He's like really a part of the fabric of this Austin market. And I just think that is invaluable.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, like I've been in Austin 30 years. So like I've lived in all over little places and went to school here. So like, I do feel like we're, it's a special city and knowing all these things about the city and being passionate about is really important.
And you know it like the back of your hand, and you've even helped me. I've sent you on a secret mission to help me. Can I share about that?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure, you can share.
That's going to make me look silly. But I'm not a Tarrytown mom. I'm not yet a mom. And there are things about the different neighborhoods that I don't know because I didn't grow up here. I've been here for 10 years. I feel like I've got some stuff down pat, but it's still really nice to have someone like you as a resource.
Yeah.
And one time I called on you and I said, can you drive me around Tarrytown and point out all of the different
nuances, right?
The nuances and the clubs and the things that someone who's from here would know.
Yeah, for sure. And it's unique, right? And I think, and I'm going to bounce this back to you because I think you make up for it by the analysis.
Thanks.
By like your study in the background of the data and understanding and being open to, get people's opinions and stuff like that. Because we've had some success in Central Austin, right, together.
Oh yes.
And so, and even as you're learning more and more, I mean, just your attention to that kind of stuff has been really good. And so, and as a result, right, you've had some success there. Tell me a little bit about, like, I know you've been you work a lot of neighborhoods and stuff like that. Tell me about what's your favorite house? What type of house is your favorite house? What kind of neighborhoods do you like? What part of Austin are your favorite parts of Austin?
Okay, I'm a lover of Central Austin.
Yeah.
Like I mainly trade in 04 and 03.
Yeah.
And I think it's simply because those are the areas I know best.
Yeah.
And I am sometimes a perfectionist. And it's just like, I feel like I add the most value to my clients when I know the area like the back of my hand. And so I've lived in 78704 for 10 years. And I worked at the South Congress Hotel at a time. And so I feel like nobody knows the area better. And then 03 just kind of happened organically. A lot of the open houses that I was doing and the folks that reach out just happened to be interested in Tarrytown and Clarksville and Pemberton, often because of the school systems, right? And anyway, what's so nice about those two areas is that they're very non-homogeneous. So you have a lot of different homes, and my favorite style of home, which is like an early 1900s home. I would say I feel like a lot of agents will go mid-century modern. I appreciate mid-century modern. That's not like my lifeblood. I love an early 1900s craftsman. I love a 1940s bungalow. I just love anything with character and history. I love the smell of old wood. I love little cutouts for an old, phone. Yes, I feel like those houses it's like going into a museum. I cannot believe that I get to go into those houses for a living and explore them. And they're also very tricky because they can have a lot of issues.
Right. You have to got to see through it, right? And then know, what needs work, what won't need work, how our clients are going to accept that, and so forth. And those things, it's just the natural, it's just what it is in Central Austin, right?
Yes, just identify and mitigate risk.
Yeah. That's great. Tell me a little bit about you've only been in the business 5 years, right? So but I know for me, but if you went back, obviously 2 to 3 years ago, what advice would you give your rookie self?
Work more open houses and know the comps. And get inside of the comps. Don't just look at them. Go preview every single home that you can. So you start getting to know the inventory and you start understanding what price per square foot moves in which areas.
That's great. And so you did a lot of open houses when you first started off, right?
I would say it was my second year. I wasn't tapped in. When I first started, I thought that the road to success was working lease leads that other people didn't want. And I did. I think it was 32 leases, and I sold 4 homes under $400K. And with my splits and everything, my first year, I made under $30,000.
Oh my God,
Less than $30,000.
A lot of work.
A lot of work for that, 30 G's.
Building blocks, okay.
Yeah.
And then you started doing open houses. You were having great success with open houses, but you went into open houses with a plan, and you understood all the data. You understand the comps. You prepped properly, and then the business started just growing from there. And you're still doing some open houses now?
I am. And I also want to be clear that is a long, if an agent is watching this, that is a long-term play. That is, truly my open house work I didn't start seeing returns on that until almost a year. And I would do them every single weekend to a week. And so you have to think you're really going to make, it's almost like your regular life when you're meeting people. You only make a really solid connection with someone 1 out of every maybe 20 or so people that you speak with, where you're like, oh, I really see you. You see me. We speak the same language. So it's a volume. You got to do volume.
And then we're still doing open houses, but then along the way you were obviously doing some of the social stuff and obviously managing a database and.
Social media, it didn't, it took a much longer time to click than I think some people would realize. I was really under 10K followers for a very long time. And I once had someone approach me at Butler Pitch and Putt. And they were like, oh my gosh, I follow you online, this and that. And then she came back to me and she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you had more followers than you do. I'm like, but I was flattered because I really felt, I believed in the stories I was telling. I guess it just didn't, click yet at that time. But I had also done 5 other social media accounts before Erin Sells ATX, not related to real estate, that all flopped.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to be a creator.
Yeah.
Or not. Frankly, it's not that I've always wanted to be a creator. It's that I've always had something to say.
Yeah.
Like I did an advice Instagram.
Yeah.
I did a little advice stand during South by Southwest in conjunction with the Instagram.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I don't really like this. So I killed that quickly. I tried to tell stories about boutique hotels. It just, I don't know. I feel really lucky that I've tried a bunch of things and then I found my voice in this and I found my passion, but I don't want people to think it's something that's just like, you just hop on and do it. And then it's just
such a good point. I mean, I think people always, we just get to see the end result a lot of time, right?
Absolutely.
And like, that's where people are seeing and they don't realize all the work that went into it and all the, I wouldn't say failures by any means, but just the lessons you learn, right? When people make mistakes or something doesn't work out, there's always a learning lesson behind it to say, okay, like that didn't work. If I like the adage, like if you're not failing, you're not trying, right? And so it's a great point that it doesn't come overnight. There's a lot of work behind the scenes and so forth, and now it's just a matter of fine tuning all of those things and keep making it a little bit better here or there and keep enhancing on that stuff.
Totally. And just actually doing the work. I think a lot of us have a vision in our mind of like what we want to do or what that's going to look like. But until you physically start doing it, you don't know whether or not that voice feels authentic or like I'll give you another small example. I always thought, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. I thought that for a long time. God, okay. And I did stand up for a while.
Okay.
And man, was I bad at first. And it's like until you bomb, you cannot get good.
Yeah.
Even if all your friends tell you you're funny. It's like you actually have to put in the work. It's the same with real estate. It's the same with social media. Unfortunately, you have to go through the growing pains of figuring out how to do it before it's going to be any good. And it's a scary thing because you're putting yourself out there publicly and that your product is not to the level that you want it to be. Yeah. But the only way to get there is to do it and to look not perfect at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is I'm so impressed by your work ethic, right? And I think all the agents I work with, that are, in the top 10% and crushing it, their work ethic is at the end of the day, the work ethic. Now we're always trying to find balance with work ethic. Right. Like we don't want to, sometimes we're putting in 60-hour weeks and the reality is we all need to get to a proper balance, but you have proper systems and proper people helping you, then you can get that balance and just execute at a high level, all those things. But at the beginning and on our journey there, we're putting in massive amount of hours sometimes. And I think people don't appreciate that because I know your work ethic and your work ethic is crazy, right? And I know some days and some weeks it feels like, oh my God, I'm at the end.
What have I done?
Yeah.
What have I built?
I know.
I think
your typical day is like...
It's wake to sleep. I mean, for 3 years, it's been wake to sleep work.
Yeah.
And I am obviously learning that that's not a sustainable thing.
Yeah.
And I'm refining and I'm setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm also referring a lot more business out,
which
has been really empowering. Which has been really empowering and liberating.
Yes.
And because I also really want every client that I work with or that I take on, I want to be super enthusiastic about what we're doing together.
Yeah.
And if I'm not like so excited to help this person, or I feel like maybe we don't speak the same language, I am so happy to say, I don't know if I'm the best at this, but I do know someone who will be.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's amazing. But that took a long time. It's really hard to do that.
It's always hard, right? You don't want to give up anything, but I think that's the right thing. And but that's just awesome that you're just grounded in knowing this is what it is, and I want to be able to take care of people at that level. Right?
It took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, it's not necessarily that I have this insane work ethic, or maybe I do, but it is because I really love this job.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like work. It fills my cup in so many ways. It feels like Like this is exactly how I like to socialize. Like I consider my coworkers and my clients, like that's my social life. And then at night I'll just watch a show or watch movies.
I love it. Okay, so pivoting to that then. Tell us a little bit something that, like, what do you love to do on your free time? Something that, like, someone would normally not know.
Okay, I love horror movies.
You do?
I love horror movies, yeah.
All right.
So I just love going to Alamo Drafthouse. Like, there's nothing more fun to me than just putting on a giant sweatshirt, sweatpants, going to Alamo, locking in for a movie, getting popcorn. Like, it's so nostalgic for me. Again, I think it has to do a lot with just how busy I've been in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I just always grew up I love TV, film, and theater. I see a lot of theater.
Cool. Okay, amazing. That's such a good thing. I didn't know that about you. I appreciate you sharing that. That's amazing. Look, our partnership's awesome. I am the phase in my career where I feel like, it's important for me to help others grow, right? Whether it's my team, but it's passionate. I get passion out of helping you or my agents or anyone that's close to me, right? And if I can pass on the things that I've learned and the mistakes I've made, and that helps you get a 1% better, like that, I find a lot of gratification in that. And you've been, like, really open to listening to me, and I'm also an A-type person, so, like, sometimes I'm always coming across as like, you have to do this or you should do this, but, like, if you just get a little bit, like, even if you just a little bit resonates is good with me, but, like, that, I found passion in that. So you've been awesome with, like, listening and kind of guiding, and I know it takes a lot of steps because I get personally coached too, and it takes my coach like 50 times to tell me the same thing before I like say, okay, I'm going to do it now.
No, you've been so great. You've added so much value and mentorship, and really, I think, again, like, I feel seen by you. I feel like you want to help me get better, and that has been so kind. You've been so kind and generous with your time.
Oh my God, it's so easy with you.
I love connecting with people who are, like, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I know everyone just thinks like a lender or a realtor is just, it's this profession. We're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I don't get money from my brokerage. I think some people think that, actually. But no, I don't have health. Well, I do. I buy my own health care. But anyway,
we're running a business.
You're running a business.
You're running a business, and we need help from other people that are running businesses. And we all have these stumbling blocks, and if we have good mentorships and good friends around us that help us grow together, like, it's really important, right? And I didn't realize that earlier on. I just kind of was running my own silo thing, and now, like, it's, like, super important. It's part of my life, and so, I'll tell you that I really appreciate our relationship together, and I am so excited to watch you continue to grow. I think you're just a couple of tweaks and steps away from, like, having better balance and just killing it.
No,
and I'm going to be so, I'm along for the ride, and I'm excited to be part of your journey.
No, dude, I so appreciate witnessing your success, how you've created processes, how you have hired and incorporated a team into your business. It has really shown me, again, giving me a blueprint for what I need to do. And I also, just having tasted success a little bit, right? I just have such an appreciation now for folks like yourself who have built successful businesses. The amount of work that has gone into making even a dent or getting into this industry is absolutely insane. So now I'm just even more in awe of my colleagues and counterparts who are, accomplishing amazing things.
This is an awesome community, and I think you're thriving, and so it's going to be awesome, and I think the next couple of years are going to be really great.
I'm excited.
Real estate. Like, we're very excited. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much. It's been it's a pleasure. I cherish our time together, and I'm looking forward to the growth together.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, oh my God. For
sure. So thank you for having me.
Cool.
It's an honor to be here.